E como é que tá a luz em você, Marcos? Você já go live?
Tá, já tá indo, já acho que foi.
Já?
Uhum. Fecha a janela um pouquinho mais atrás de mim. Okay, I'm doing my nails a little bit. We're gonna go live with Puppy Dog.
Live with Puppy Dog. Live with love.
Mm.
Live with love.
Live with love.
Tá bom, você?
Lua. So my name is Richard Miller. We just went to the beach surfing, and so we're starting a little bit late this morning. And Lua went to the beach with us. She's not ready to go surfing yet. I'm just here just to talk about some of my favorite songs and answer any questions people have about music or learning or peak performance. I'll say the ocean water is really good for nails. So people often ask me how my nails are so strong. It's not just the collagen I take, it's the seawater is really good. They make them grow really fast. So I'd like to play one of my favorite songs, Manhã de Carnaval by Luiz Bonfá. It was featured in the movie Black Orpheus. Bojona Pimenta. Você tá live. So that song is just very beautiful melody. It's for the called Manhã de Carnaval. So when you wake up on Wednesday morning after Carnival, and the movie is so full of references to the myth of Orpheus. So he plays that song when the sun is rising, and it was said about Orpheus that the sun would only rise when he would wake up and start playing the guitar or the lyre. He played the lyre. And he was like the first musician born of Apollo, the god of music and medicine. and his mother was one of the stars of the Pleiades. And so it's very interesting to study the myth. And I got a lot of ideas from the amazing musician, harpist, and um, Therese Schroeder Schieker, who has a brilliant analysis of the myth. And I'm just going to recap some things, just summarize. It was said that Orpheus would play so beautifully that the rivers would change directions, and that all the animals in the forest would come and listen to him playing. And so when he was about to get married to Eurydice, she was bitten on the ankle by a snake. And so all of these images carry meaning with it, like the ankle is our understanding. It's how we stand in the world. And she died and went to Hades, and he was so struck with grief that he went down to Hades and was able to seduce the three Furies and was able to get his wish granted by playing music that was so beautiful that they couldn't deny his wish, which was that she would live again. And so they said to him, okay, on one condition, if you don't look back, and as you make your way back up to earth, she will be with you. And so that advice to a musician, don't look back. I think it's not just for musicians, but for musicians, it's clear when you're in a performance. We always have to be in the moment, and that has to do with peak performance. If we're looking back, we're not in the moment. So the thoughts in my mind when I'm playing either go one of two ways. One is, wow, I played that last minute perfectly. There was no mistakes, and guaranteed the mistake is about to happen when I'm thinking like that, when I'm looking back. Or I think, oh, I'm sounding terrible, and then it just goes downhill from there. So the exercise of staying in the moment, staying present, not looking back, that was the advice given. And of course, Orpheus looked back and lost her forever. So it's a tragedy. There's all kinds of different interpretations and different tellings of the story. Some of the stories don't even mention the name of Eurydice, and so Therese Schroeder Schieker was suggesting that maybe it's a description of marriage to our own soul. And so the whole Jungian concept of I forgot the technical term, but integration, where we go through a transition in life, like puberty, and we kind of split. We become the person who is identified with the family, but the independent person who wants to be self-identified. And then there becomes a reintegration of who we are on the other side of it. So so she was describing that, and so it's a deep personal journey. And so I think that sometimes I think that bossa nova had such an impact on the world because the first thing it did was acknowledge Orpheus, and through the movie Black Orpheus, and so bossa nova is beautiful, anyway. So it's a combination of the chords, the lyrics, and the melody, and the rhythm. And that was just a little improvisation over the chords. And so nobody's on, so I don't have any questions. But I do want to address the idea of improvisation. You know, how to create melodies, and so the main thing is to learn melodies, to study melodies, to play melodies, and so that's something that, coming from a classical guitar background, I never did until I started playing jazz and improvising and things like that. And so I learned the importance of it. And then the second thing is to learn the arpeggios of the chords, because I used to ask the question, you know, what do you play? What notes can you play over what chords, right? But I would ask, what scale can you play? And I would get some answers that were correct, but they were really not helpful. Like, oh, you can play all the notes. So A minor, 7, you can play all the notes. It sounds just fine, all the notes. But where I start from is to play the arpeggio notes. And I have a way of playing them that helps to connect all the chords together. So A minor, that's 2-string way to play the whole arpeggio. And then when we go to the B, and then the E, so I'm just playing 2-string arpeggios. So for the A minor, then I think G, A, C, E. And 2 so I went to the 1, 2, 5, 1, and then just create a melody from that. Okay, and so that's something that we can explore, and I have been exploring that. So I have basically two forms. There's a form that starts on the root of the chord, A minor, and one that starts on the third or the seventh. That's all A minor or seventh. Since the root and the seventh are, I'm sorry, the third and the seventh, they're just kind of mirror images of themselves. So this is the seventh, major second, major third, major second, major third. And then the starting on the third is major third, major second. So it's just a then I call that form 2, and form 1 I call starting on the fifth or the root. And then from there, I find all my scales. So we can talk about scales later, but the way these arpeggios then connect to each other is really nice. So if I have A minor here, then it connects really nicely to the next two chords. And then I find that all over the neck. So if you want to explore that later, then ask me about that. It's something that we can look in and map out all the arpeggios of the chords, and then create melodies like that. And then we start putting in passing notes and developing scales, and then eventually you get to where you can play all 12 notes, as long as you land on one of the chord tones. Tá bom? So leave a comment about this, and I'll get back if it was helpful. We're going to end it here, and hopefully people will join, and we're going to find a time when people are more available, instead of right in the middle of the workday. And Lua is here. She appreciates music, so it's always nice. This is Puppy Lua. Puppy Lua. She likes running on the beach more. Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye.
Go.